started and let people come as they may. So record. And hopefully, okay, that looks like it's working. All right. So powerful, powerful, fiery, magical Sagittarius full moon lunar eclipse that we have today. And I'm really excited and fired up to just gather with whoever shows up today. I know I have a tendency to do things at the last minute, you know, so we'll just, that's sometimes how I roll, but we'll just see how it flows. So I want to let you know my plan for our time together. I am going to start off, as always, with a little prayer of intention for our time together. Then I plan to cover just a little bit of background on the really, for me, sacred and special symbolism of the Sagittarian. And I am also going to talk about some other themes that are going on during this lunation, this lunar eclipse event, and ultimately link together why not only our relationship with ourselves, with our source, God, spirit, whoever, whatever resonates for you, and how that is what ripples out to others. And then of course, last but not least, that really sacred relationship with our beloved horses and or animal companions, and how, you know, during this ascension journey, during these crazy, uncertain, accelerated times, how we can actually, you know, consciously, intentionally partner with them for growth. And oops, I don't know, are you, I wasn't sure. Okay, I'm just gonna mute you for your privacy, Valerie, thank you, sorry. And how we can partner with them for, and if you have a question, please feel free to type it in the chat and I will open up later. For really personal growth and healing and deep transformation. So without further ado, I am going to invite you, if you are in a safe place, and obviously I know one person who shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to invite you, if you're in a safe place, to close your eyes with me for a few moments, hand on heart, maybe one on the belly or on your thighs, whatever feels comfortable. And obviously you can come back and do this later if you are in a place where you can't do this. But we're going to just start tuning into our breath and dropping inside. I just want to just start off with a little prayer of intention for our time together. Tune into your breath. Just notice without trying to change, fix anything. Notice if you're breathing from your belly, from your chest. Notice your inhale versus your exhale. Do they seem even and relaxed? Is one longer than the other? Are you holding your breath? I've been doing a lot of that lately. The energies have been really kind of crazy and intense. And I am particularly lunar sensitive. You may have heard me say, so go ahead and just notice your breath and begin allowing each breath, each exhale, allow yourself to empty and relax and receive the gift of this precious moment, time, space together. Allow yourself to maybe shake off any energies that are not yours, that you might have picked up throughout your day. And on your in-breath, let us call ourselves back home. Call those pieces and parts and fragments that we may be scattering all over the place without realizing it. Inviting ourselves to come back home to that still, silent, and powerful place of our sacred body temple. Inviting you to check your awareness, bringing your energy below the level of your eyes and leaning against your spine. And notice how when you sink into that place and you relax and settle into your sacred seat connected with your sit bones, how you begin to really drop into that rich place of presence, that place that the horses especially are such masters at, and we can learn so much from. Continue at your own at your own pace, just settling and dropping deeper and deeper, relaxing into your breath, relaxing into your body, and plugging into Mama Earth, sending those energetic roots down, down deep into her core. And once you feel that sweet spot, allowing yourself to just fill up and be nourished and supported with her love, her unconditional, divine motherly love. Next, bringing your awareness a couple of feet above your head, connecting with your soul star and inviting in this beautiful divine diamond, crystalline, golden, platinum, beautiful, high frequency light and light codes. Allow them to come pouring down, streaming over you and through you like a galactic shower, bathing you, cleansing and purifying from crown to toe. Feeling this connection above and below. So from this place and space, I call upon my team SOS, my spiritual oneness support team, and the wind horse herd, who I channel the spirit of the horse. And I also call upon any of the beings of light that are joining us today, any of your guides, teachers, and angels, the archangelic realm, ascended masters, inviting them all in for this powerful, powerful time together today, where my intention is to ask for their assistance and your assistance and the assistance and presence and voice and energy of every single person who is called to attend and tune into this, whether they join us sometime live during the call or later on during the replay, to help us really powerfully harness these energies. And as I shared in my post or email messages, to eclipse all of these energies that are not serving this planet. And we'll go into a deeper activation later, but I ask that this all be done with supreme ease, grace, and elegance in the way of the highest good. And I thank you, thank you, thank you now for grounding, surrounding, directing, protecting, guiding, and supporting us every step of the way. And so it is, it shall be done. Amen, aho, and ashe. So as you feel like gently rubbing your hands together, maybe doing a little shake, covering your eyes, and coming back to the room, I welcome you back. And so I want to start off talking about some of the really intriguing, fascinating aspects that are going on right now in terms of this particular event. And by the way, this is the first of 3 eclipses that we have, which is a little bit unusual. Normally we just have 2. And so we've got we've got one, I think, on the 20th, and then another one on July 4th, actually. So eclipses, I just want to take a moment and just share that, like, they are all about really, you know, we can consciously work with the energies and start releasing and cutting out, so to speak, what is no longer serving. And Sometimes if we are maybe needing a little nudge from spirit or source, you know, the universe is always conspiring on our behalf and may also assist us in their own way in helping us release something that doesn't serve us. And this can be anything from our, you know, perhaps old stories and beliefs, you know, mindset, emotional baggage, spiritual, you know, hygiene and clutter, as well as perhaps toxic behaviors and relationships. And so on any level, and maybe even clutter in your environment and space. So on any and on all levels, it's almost like we have this chance right now for a fresh slate that we can consciously co-create with spirit when we work with these energies. So that's one of the reasons I love tuning into the moon, which again is so connected with the rhythms and cycles of nature and Mother Earth. And the animals, the horses, are so tuned in and tapped into this, and they definitely have taught me a lot in this arena. So let's take a moment and talk about, it's so beautiful to see you in the woods, Susan. It's so, oh my gosh, what a treat for us. Thank you for, oh, look at Bella. Thank you for sharing your beautiful energy in the forest. So yeah, I want to talk about the Sagittarius energy and you know, some of the rich symbolism. Of course, since Sagittarius is part horse, I have an affinity for, you know, this sign and symbolism, that centaur, that half human, half horse. And this centaur is also the symbol that is associated with Chiron, the wounded healer archetype. And, you know, again, because of the horsey connection in this, you know, other dimension, so to speak, for me, it has been so fascinating as I tuned into the stars and astrology to see the rich gifts and golden nuggets that brings for us. So Sagittarius is, oops, hello. Oh, I don't, did you want to say something, Susan, or I don't know if you accidentally maybe unmuted. Okay, I'm just muting you for your privacy if you, okay. And so anyway, the Sagittarius sign, who this full moon lunar eclipse where is in the sign of Sagittarius, is ruled by the planet Jupiter, who's all about expansion and joy, and one of our more benefic planets, so to speak. So I love this energy, and Sagittarius is all about the truth seeker, the adventurer, freedom, and, you know, studying different religions, furthering our knowledge, really beautiful energies in that sense. And something for me that I love when I look at the symbolism of that centaur archer, you know, pulling back that arrow, is when we keep our sacred vision, right, which is that target, when we can stay connected to that sacred vision, and allow that arrow really to be our life, to be our thoughts, to be our feelings, to be our emotions, to be our behaviors, and getting into alignment, carrying us forward with that vision. And I can't remember the yogi master who, there's a saying on that, to like let the arrow be your life, but you know, I always love that symbolism, and I think it is the perfect time with this eclipse for us to, you know, reconnect with, or maybe get more clarity around our sacred vision and what we would like to allow us to pull us forward, what we want to, you know, hold on loosely, so to speak, as if we're riding our horse, right? Holding on loosely to that vision and allowing it to carry us forward, and maybe even allow our horses to carry us forward, right? So really, really beautiful energy there. And then I want to take a moment and touch on Chiron, because that is an archetype that I've done a lot of work with in my personal healing journey. And in case you're not familiar, he is associated with the wounded healer archetype, where really looking at our deepest core wounds essentially can help us uncover the gifts, uncover the gold from that, which can help really put us on our path and purpose, align us with our divine duty and dharma when we heal and integrate all of those wounds. So, you know, that Chiron really in many ways holds the key to the embodiment piece. For me, when we look at that half human, half horse, we're looking at this sacred union of the human intellect and the animal instinct, of really embodying in many ways our divinity, you know, and the masculine and the feminine, the sacred union of polarities. And you know, I did a live on Wednesday where, you know, we talked about the shadow and the polarity, and, you know, one of the cards came up, and that was, you know, really amazing. And so for me, working with this archetype, and then, you know, energetically, we know everything is energy, right? So those of us who have horses in our lives, you know, when we can play with them, commune with them, you know, ride them, which I know Susan is doing now, which is so beautiful. To have that energy on this call, and so fitting, and I feel so, you know, excited about that. But when we can do that and bring, you know, another level of awareness to what is going on in our inner landscape and what is being reflected to us in our outer landscape, the horses especially have so much to teach us, so much rich wisdom to teach us in terms of the power of presence, the power of observation, the power of really unconditional love on so many levels. And the last piece that I want to just touch on with this centaur, this Sagittarius energy, is that in order to have that integration of, say, like, you know, our mental body and our physical body, really that portal, you know, that channel is our heart, right? The heart is the portal between the upper, you know, body and the lower body, you know, the upper chakras and our lower chakras, again, the mental and the physical. And when that is open and pure flowing, we can have this beautiful connection that allows for, you know, the energy to flow between the two. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes here. I have a couple other things. This also brings in the connection and the partnership piece that I wanted to kind of highlight, that, you know, in maybe response to what's going on in the world today, and how, you know, there is so much that is being uncovered, that is so much that's being brought to the light. And, you know, it's messy, right? It's not very pretty. And, you know, I have to confess, and I'll share transparently, that I have been, you know, really feeling, you know, a sadness and a heaviness in my heart, and navigating and working with those energies. You know, we know that emotions are energy in motion. You know, this past week with everything that's going on in the world, and having to really amp up my self-care practice, as well as use my tools, as I like to say, and keep, you know, building and working my love muscles, because, you know, we are definitely in such challenging times, and as sensitive souls, sometimes it can be really difficult to understand, you know, how, you know, humans can treat each other, you know, in such, you know, cruel, you know, disregarding cruel and hateful and violent ways. And, you know, I don't want to go into all the details, and I do want to, at the end of the call, you know, time permitting, you know, just take us through a little a process to help move some of that energy as well. But I did want to just kind of bring back home, to bring this full circle to what I feel is as conscious souls on this journey, you know, to really, really kind of commit to doing the work on ourselves, doing that daily spiritual practice, because when we don't practice our spiritual hygiene, right? We take a shower every day. When we don't do the same for our spiritual energy, for our emotional baggage, for our mental clutter, when we don't take the time to develop that practice, then what happens is, you know, all of that stuff becomes the junk in our trunk, right? That can lead to not only pain and disease and discomfort, but, you know, I dare say that a lot of the hate and the, you know, ignorance in the world today, I really truly feel, and it's very interesting for me, because I want to say that, you know, for years I was so sensitive I could not watch anything violent on TV, right? I couldn't, you know, I just would have to leave the room. I'd cry. I was way too sensitive. And something that I found very intriguing is over the past, I don't know, 3 to 4 years, I've actually been drawn to watch more, you know, shows that are actually like Criminal Minds and, you know, like of a violent nature that was not normal for me. And, you know, I had these interesting ahas and realization and expanded awareness that for me, you know, there was not only an intrigue and a curiosity around maybe this part that I've been, you know, resisting and avoiding most of my life, and maybe because of some of the traumas that I was healing on my journey. But something that really stuck out for me as a common theme when I was watching, in particular, I think it was the Criminal Minds, is that all the people who are, you know, doing those crimes and those violence, you know, they themselves had some kind of history of being violated, of being neglected, of being harmed in their upbringing or childhood or whatever it was. And so really at the end of the day, the answer again is always, you know, that compassion, that love, and that forgiveness. And as angry and frustrating as it can be to see what's going on, you know, I you know, found myself moving through those energies, but then returning back to that place of, you know, we still have to go to this place of compassion and forgiveness and love. And I'm not saying that we don't want to, you know, I mean, there is a justified anger and, you know, I mean, with the violence, I mean, it's unacceptable. I'm not saying it's acceptable. I want to make that 100% crystal clear. It is unacceptable. And yet my heart breaks and aches for those souls deep down that also have been hurt somehow, that made them go to and be in that place, if that makes sense. And absolutely 100%. Again, I want to be 100% crystal clear. It is not acceptable behavior, but my mission, my intention is really to maybe shed light on that, and hopefully, you know, as a collective, as a, you know, tribe, as a community, we can start to just keep bringing in more and more love to ultimately help, you know, heal the planet. And this is where I think the horses, the animals, they are so, you know, have such unconditional love, you know, for us. And, you know, we can learn so much from them and sort of lean into their wisdom and their strength and their beauty and their truth. So I hope that makes sense. You know, and I realized that maybe what I shared perhaps might be a bit, I don't know, might be ruffle a few feathers. And I'm also, you know, I'm just being guided to share from my heart what wants to come through. So, you know, just an intention again in helping to find some healing and, you know, a path to really healing and love. So let me take a moment and look at my other notes. Oh, that's right. One more thing, and then we'll go into, I want to talk about the spiritual alchemy Susan, I think you'll like this. You know, when we look at some of the numerology that's going on during this event, we actually have 15 showing up in multiple places. We have the sun is in Gemini at 15 degrees. We have the moon, we know, is in Sagittarius at 15 degrees. We have Mars is actually, I want to make sure I'm getting this right, and Pisces at 15 degrees. And so all of these 15s, whenever we have that, you know, amplification, just like when we see a 1-1 or a 2-2, you know, there's the codes behind these numbers, the light codes that are vibrating with these numbers gets amplified. And so 15 in the teachings that I study, which follows with Tanya Gabrielle, who is my wealth numerology astrologist mentor. 15 is the number of spiritual alchemy. And so, you know, really, when we have this amplification, we are being gifted right now in this lunar eclipse, in this Sagittarius full moon, you know, and the energies are always very strong. And the best time to harness and work with them are, you know, the day of, 3 days before, and 3 days after. So today, actually at 3 p.m., which is the reason I chose this time to do this, you know, is actually the time of this full moon lunar eclipse. And we have with us, available to us, these energies for spiritual alchemy. So, you know, we're going to do a process here in a little bit, but I invite you to start thinking about what is your vision and what is your intention, okay? And what would you, as a third question, it's like, what would you like to eclipse, you know, from your energy, from your field, to really be a contribution to, you know, yourself, your loved ones, your animals, and the planet, okay? I'm taking another sip of water. And so, you know, if you feel like sharing, feel free to type in the chat. Let's see. Okay. And so I'm just going to take one more peek at my notes and see if there's anything else I wanted to add. Yeah, actually, I do want to take a moment and talk about as well the North Node and South Node, because our North Node is sort of like our guiding star, our North Star, right? Our guiding direction. And that is in Gemini right now. And then the South Node is in Sagittarius. And the South Node is kind of like our past. It's the karma. And so with the North Node in Gemini is really, you know, in tarot associated with the lovers, right? Again, this theme of duality and sacred union. Excuse me, and the twins, right? You know, like looking at our shadow aspects, and can we love and integrate those shadow aspects within ourselves, right? And so with the North Node being in Gemini now for, I think it's at least a year or 18 months, I can't remember exactly. This is sort of like the focus or the theme as we move forward as a collective, like in the collective psyche. This is where we really need to, as a collective, start doing this work. And of course, it all starts on the individual level to start healing and balancing all of these parts within ourselves. Really, being a responsible, mindful, conscious co-creator of what, we're not only creating in our lives, but what we're, putting out there in the ethers, right? And how it's affecting others, because we are all connected. So as I'm sure, I'm speaking to the choir, but I'm sure you are aware of that. But I just felt like those were some key pieces to mention about the, the cosmic forecast, if you will, or what is going on right now with this lunation, and why I found it very powerful for us to work with these energies. So let me bring in probably the most, I don't want to say the most important, I mean, it's all connected, but the piece that I really kind of maybe wanted to close with before we go into our process is our sacred partnerships, like really like sacred partnership. And we could say, you know, we can use our horses, we can, you know, look at our relationship with ourselves, we can look at our relationship with source, again, and or God, spirit, whatever word resonates for you. And that relationship is so sacred, where if we don't build, you know, that love and that trust and that respect and that deep, you know, like really faith, and then, you know, those are the pieces that as we cultivate that, the practice of, you know, building that relationship and not only building it, but becoming more aware, you know, of how we, our role, like what are we contributing to the relationship? How are we, you know, maybe hanging out in fear or doubt? How are we, you know, just like, you know, what is going on within us where we can, again, choose to use our tools and our love muscle to start shape shifting the energy, right? So that we can create a different, a better outcome and create and build that, you know, that higher vibrational, more happy, healthy, harmonious relationship, you know, with, again, whichever example you want to relate to, it all applies. And of course, you know, my current focus these days is, well, it always has been of, you know, with the horse, but in a different way in terms of the partnership. But, you know, when we look at how we are connecting with and relating to our horse, how we can really allow them to, you know, guide us and teach us and show us and reflect to us as loving mirrors, as sacred messengers, and ultimately really healing medicine if we allow ourselves to just, you know, expand our awareness and be present to what is going on and what they are trying to show us and teach us at any given time. And so this sacred partnership, or this, you know, this partnership for me really is ultimately the sacred path to healing. And dare I say, my really big vision, which I'm feeling called to share, is really, you know, this partnership as a path to healing and co-creating heaven on earth, really healing for the planet as we connect more with the animal kingdom, with our horses, especially as, you know, horse lovers and guardians, to really, really allow for this deep healing of, you know, the past wounds and bonds. If we look at horses, right? Horses are, number one, prey animals. So, you know, they get, you know, on a pure, totally vibrational level, they get what it is to, you know, be the, and I don't want to use the word victim, but to be a prey, to be, you know, to have, like, in the past, thank God people are way more conscious these days around, you know, more humane, you know, natural horsemanship and all of that. But, you know, in their DNA, in their genes, in their past lives, in their ancestors, you know, so many of them had their, you know, their spirits broken and, you know, were treated in ways that perhaps were not, you know, conscious or mindful. And so it, you know, depending on who their humans were, right? And so they could have had their spirits broken, right, in order to be ridden and, you know, do the services that we have asked of them as humans, as a human race, right? And so, you know, they get, and this is something that's always been, like, for me, such a you know, it was a huge aha when I realized this connection around my own past, in terms of being a survivor of, you know, different levels of trauma, and, you know, my really deep, intimate connection and vibrational resonance with horses, you know, again, as, you know, because they are prey animals, I often felt most of my life that I was, like, running most of my life. And so, you know, this, you know, and when I connected with horses, there was just like this instant connection, right? Like we got each other on a pure vibrational level. And so, you know, I truly feel that women and those, you know, men too. I mean, it seems for some reason there are, at least in my experience and my perception, that it is largely women who are, you know, drawn to horses. And I really believe that there is, on a energetic level, this deep healing of the sacred feminine that happens when we connect with them, because of the dynamics that I just was talking about, you know, that the healing the wounds of the sacred feminine, you know, and when we partner with horse, because there is, again, that vibrational resonance, there's such rich, fertile opportunity for deep and profound healing. So I just, you know, that piece really wanted to come through from my heart. And, you know, so on that note, let us, I just want to take a moment and see if there's any questions, comments, and actually let me look on the phone here, because I just want to see, because I've got the phone, I got the YouTube and the Zoom here, and although I don't know if I see any comments here. I don't know how to, okay. I apologize, this is new technology. I always like to throw myself off with new technology, because I want to make sure that, because I can't actually see my YouTube at the moment for some reason. Okay, yeah, I see it's live. I don't know where the comment thing is. Okay, okay, I just want to keep moving here, because I know we've already gone about 40 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is we'll just go ahead and go into the process, and you know, please forgive my new learning curve with this, you know, streaming on YouTube. So if someone does have, I will come back and check comments later. And as far as the chat, I don't really see anything going on there. So I am going to take another sip of water. And okay, so I'm gonna invite you, if you're in a place you can do this, and I realize, I know that, I know, Susan, that you probably can't do this, but I'm gonna invite you to just stand up with me for a moment. I just want us to like really just get in our bodies. We're going to just do a little bit of shaking. And just really, you know, all of these energies that have been going on, all of the stuff that's going on, there may be things going on in your life. There's, you know, so much uncertainty and chaos in the world right now. And as sensitive souls and empathic, heart-centered souls, it really and truly is important that we realize and, you know, manage our energy in a way that helps us to keep our own frequency, you know, pure and clean. So I'm going to invite you to just take a moment and shake with me. Ooh, and I invite you also to make some noise. Allow yourself to activate your throat chakra. And then I'm going to just add a fun little piece here. You probably can't see me, but, you know, just as if you're like running, we're just going to like allow yourself, if you feel, and I've been doing this a lot this week, so I wanted to share it. If you feel anger at all, if you feel any anger or frustration over the events of the world, and I just want you to invite you to join me to really just move that energy through your body. Just let yourself like just shake it and let it out. Just take a minute and let all the energy move through your body. Beautiful. Just shake it out. Excellent. So nice to have a horsey at the Zoom meeting. What a treat. Okay, and then I'm going to invite you to go ahead, if you're in a place that you can do this again, to allow yourself to just stand with your legs hip-width apart. Oh, just let all the energy settle. Let the energy settle. Let yourself again drop back inside. Take some nice grounding breaths. Closing your eyes. If you're in a place you can do so. And just notice the energies in your body. And I want you to tune in and just scan your body for a moment, just so that you can have a baseline of where you are in this moment. So just bringing your awareness to the top of your head, your crown, and just work your way down. Notice any areas of tension, of tightness, of constriction, maybe heat or cold, tingling, whatever you're noticing. Just observe without trying to change or fix anything. And then I also want you to notice and maybe compare, like the right side of your body to your left, or, you know, your weight really, like, are you leaning more to the right? Are you leaning more to the left? Or do you feel pretty centered? Are you leaning more forward or more back? See if you can notice what is going on with your energy and your weight. Just take a moment to notice. And like I'm noticing that I'm slightly leaning over to the right? So once you notice your general energy and where it is, you know, hanging out, invite your energy, invite your body, invite the innate intelligence that your body has to align and adjust itself in whatever way. Whew. Feels good, that feels better. And so for me, instantly, we just shifted to a more centered place, and that feels so much better. Excellent. And one more piece I'm going to invite you to do is to really check in with your head and your heart and your belly. Those three power centers, right? Just notice if your energy is hanging out more so in any one of those areas. So, you know, notice perhaps if like there's more energy in your head and maybe, you know, less in the lower energy centers, your head, your heart, and your belly. Just notice, and, you know, you can maybe give it a number, like which one has the most and which one has the least. And just give yourself a baseline. And again, ask your body, after you have that, ask your body if it would like to make any adjustments and align itself. And then notice again, if perhaps you are more centered and just sinking into your hips, into your core, into your legs. And allow that to happen naturally, and notice how your body knows what to do when you just stop and be with it and ask it and communicate with it, right? So that was just like a very brief exercise with that. And I want to invite you to go ahead and open your eyes, and we're going to go into the prayer activation. But I wanted us, you know, as always, I like to bring us into our bodies because you know, our bodies really have so much information with us, and in many ways, as we connect with our body's wisdom, we get so much information, and we can again have another layer or level of awareness that helps us to notice anywhere we might be out of balance, right? Anywhere we might, need a little bit of attention or healing. And so if there were any areas, by the way, that were tight or painful or talking, have a mental note of that. And you're absolutely more than welcome to go and, take care of yourself and spend time and, just be with that. And we're going to do a little of that in the process as well. But always, 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 honor and listen to your body. I'm going to take another sip of water. And then I am going to actually turn off my video and invite you to get settled into a quiet place and space, because we're going to do, a more in-depth prayer activation, again, with the intention. We're going to address, I just want to let you know, there's 2 levels here. We're going to address, as I shared in my messages to you, address like really eclipsing, if you will, and helping us maybe quantum leap to really healing a lot of the shadow stuff that's come up to the surface in our collective. We're going to work with that energy. And then we're also going to do a little bit of individual introspection and also reflection and or connection with our personal, goals and visions, because the moons are always a wonderful tool or guide for us to tune into our vision and help with the manifestation process. And since we have this spiritual alchemy energy floating around us with all these planets, we may as well take advantage of that and do a little bit of alchemy for ourselves as well, right? So we're going to do, the 2 layers here. So let me take a moment and just turn off my video. And I'm going to invite, oops, I don't know if she can hear me. Oh, I'm going to turn off my, well, I'm going to go ahead and do let me just pause for a moment here and let me, I'm just going to invite Susan. I'm going to check in here. So can I unmute you, Susan? Can you hear me?
Yep. Hi.
Oh, there you are. Beautiful. I just wanted to check in with you before I go into the prayer and just see how you're doing.
Oh yeah, that was nice. We just got back, so I'm just gonna sit down here on the grass and close my eyes and participate in the rest. That was lovely. Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. It was nice to get out of the house and have a break from the kids, and I put those earbuds in tight under my helmet, and that was the best idea. I think I might just plan my rides for every time you go live. That was awesome.
So funny.
That was fun.
Well, thank you for bringing us with you.
Yeah.
We were honored. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, look at them. It's so wonderful to have them in the picture. Okay, well, I just
when you were when you were talking about the arrow, when you were first describing a Sagittarius, and then you said something about, and then a guru or a yogi, something about what the arrow meant. I got to a point in my trail that was like perfect for a run, and Bella needed it so bad. So just as you started talking about the arrow out in front, we just like took off like a shot. We were like galloping while I was listening. It was so fun.
Oh, what divine timing, huh? How perfect.
It was really awesome.
Oh, anyways, so cool.
Okay, so I'm going to take the video and the sound off, my love, and I'm going to sit down and enjoy the rest here.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing and being here. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll meet you for your privacy. All right, so beautiful. Okay, and now I am going to actually mute myself as well, because we're going to do this prayer activation. Okay, yeah, Philippe can still hear me. So beautiful. So go ahead and find a spot to settle into your sacred seat, as I like to say. And now that we've kind of, shook off some of that energy, things will hopefully move a little bit more freely and easily. I'm going to invite, if it feels comfortable to you, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, or maybe both palms face down on the thighs, so that we can still stay connected with our bodies. And of course, closing your eyes. Begin taking a beautiful breath, cleansing. Allow that in-breath to fill up your belly. If your hand happens to be on your belly, allow her to relax. I know I have a tendency to hold mine in a lot. So just let that belly relax, let your jaw relax, let your neck relax, let all of you relax with every breath. And surrender deeper into this precious now moment that we are sharing together. I invite you to allow your breath to just deepen. And with every in-breath, inviting in possibility and the new, and with every out-breath, letting go of the old so that we may find the gold. Continue breathing at your own pace. And I'm actually going to invite, depending on if you're, in a place, if you're sitting in a chair and you can do this. If you're sitting on the floor, this may be a little awkward, but if it feels comfortable, I'm going to invite a little rock to your pelvis. So as you take your in-breath, I want you to invite, as that belly fills up and relaxes, invite your pelvis to rock forward. And then on the out breath, as you bring your belly back to the spine, allow your pelvis to rock back. So again, in your own time, in your own pace, allow yourself to coordinate your breath with a very gentle pelvic rock. Exhaling, belly towards the spine, rocking back. And inhale, allowing that belly to fill up, rocking forward. And exhale. Just do a few more of those to allow yourself to really connect with your sit bones, anchor to your root, and allow yourself to really drop inside, deeper and deeper to that place and space of stillness. Let's just do 2 more of those. And then on that second one, when you come back to center, you can allow yourself to stop the rock and find yourself a beautiful neutral position. And maybe even if you want, I'm getting for us to just do a counterclockwise circle with your pelvis. So rocking forward towards your pubis, towards your left hip, your sacrum, and to the right. And that felt so good. Let's do one more. Beautiful. Just circling to the left. And when you get to the back to center, then you can come back and rest at a neutral position, relaxing your palms. Whichever way you like. If you feel like you need more grounding, you can place them face down on your thighs. If you are ready and open to receive, then palms face up on your lap. And I'm going to invite you now to bring all of your awareness to the center of your head and just see this beautiful golden egg, this golden ball of light that's shaped like an egg. And it is pulling in and calling in to that place and space your specific intention or vision, your sacred vision for yourself, your dream, your goals, whatever comes to mind. There's no right or wrong. Whatever it is that you would like to maybe focus on in this next 30 days to 6 months, okay? Our lunar cycle, and then obviously depending how big our goal is, it may take longer than one cycle, but go ahead and just bring that into your awareness, whatever that is. And when you have that, and it's now beautifully wrapped and enclosed in this like kind of cosmic crystalline golden egg in your third eye, activating your pineal gland with this vision, you're going to allow this egg, like a pebble, to begin falling down your core channel. And it's going to pass down through your throat space, activating and aligning your throat chakra to help you express the truth of the words that are aligned with this vision. And gently falling now into your heart space, landing right now in this beautiful pond of your heart, and just see the ripple effects now. Just see the pond rippling out now, rippling out and carrying your desire, carrying your intention out into the ethers. Just, it's going to continue rippling. And now maybe you do a little bit of a shake with your chest or your shoulders, and let that beautiful energetic cosmic egg fall down into your solar plexus. And in this place, it is not only igniting your inner fire, your solar power, it is aligning your will with the divine's, activating your I am presence, your sense of self, and your pure identity of the truth of who you are. Allow that golden egg to continue falling now down into your belly, into your pelvic bowl. And it is now connecting with your sacred sexual energies, connecting with that creativity and receptivity, allowing those energies again to be aligned with this vision. And as it finally drops and falls to the very bottom of your pelvic bowl, connecting with the root of your being, potentially laying over that space and place, that perineum, that area that is halfway between your anus and your genitals, also known as the mula bandha. Allow this root of your being right now, as that egg lands there, allow it to just sit there for a few moments and anchor your being with this sacred vision. And now we are going to see and imagine and invite this energy to begin melting and dispersing and flowing down your legs and spreading and filling up your entire pelvic bowl and filling up your belly. It's expanding and filling up your entire body, almost as if you're blowing up a balloon, but allow this energy to be completely flooding your being with the energies of your sacred vision, your intention, and your heart's deepest desire. And once your body feels completely filled up, I want to invite you to place a hand or two over your heart. And as you connect with your heart space, I want you to take a few moments to feel into and imagine. Imagine your future you, your future self. Imagine yourself already in that place and space of either materializing or achieving or creating whatever it is that your vision is. Imagine yourself already being there, already, doing the thing, whatever it is. And imagine, take it a step further, imagine how you would feel. Are you feeling happy and joyful and excited and grateful? Whatever feelings that you would be experiencing if you were already there, if you were already doing that thing. Allow those energies now to fill up your heart. Allow them to spread and fill up your being. Give them a color. And allow that color to flood, again, your entire being, painting it with that color. Let yourself really embody those energies. And allow yourself to just soak it up and really feel it as best you can right now, the feelings and the emotions, for a few more moments. And then you're going to lock it into place and imprint it by both placing your index finger and thumb together. And I like to do a little sacred squeeze, a pleasure pulse, squeezing your perineum gently like a butterfly, super gentle. And you can see that we're creating a triangle between the perineum and the two hands where your thumbs and index fingers are connected. And you're anchoring this vision now in your body and to the earth, to the 3D for manifestation. So just squeeze 4 times at your own pace, gentle, and lock and anchor it into place. So when that's complete, you can relax your hands, relax your perineum, and what I'm going to invite us to do now, keeping your eyes closed, is out in front of you. I want you to see this beautiful, big, blue marble planet, blue-green planet, our beloved Mother Earth. And I want you to bring both of your hands out in front of you. And let us now, as a community, as a group, as a collective, let us now bring and send. Right now we have the pure, they're turning the faucet on, that cosmic shower, the golden rays and the diamond light and the crystalline energy and Christ consciousness is all pouring down through our crowns, through our core channel. And then from our hearts, as that energy pours down our core channels, we can send from our hearts, down our arms, into our hands, out in front of us, our Mother Earth, and to all the people who are suffering and struggling, for the violence, for the hate, for the anger, anything that you feel that you want to help send love and light to. Anywhere on the planet, you can include, loved ones or anyone who is, hurting or needs healing. You can bring in your beloved horse and put them in this golden ball of light in front of you as well. But right now, we're going to send so much love and light right now to purify and cleanse and eclipse as a group, power in numbers, eclipse, quantum leap, dissolve, and uncreate the hate and all of the racism and just ignorant social injustice, all of it. As a planet, invite you to bring those energies in. Bring that love and compassion and forgiveness and light, and let it merge and shapeshift and transmute the dark. Just take a few moments and send all of the energy that you feel called to any specific causes, any particular places on the planet, wherever you like. Allow this energy of now harnessing this amazing Sagittarius lunar eclipse, spiritual alchemy energy. Let us turn it all to frickin' gold. Let us find the gifts. Let us find the love. Let us connect with each other. Learn the lessons. Just bring it all. And now turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Let us turn up the volume of love and light and peace and harmony, and see the planet flooded with this light and this frequency. Let us co-create and bring heaven to earth. Let us live in peace and harmony. Allow yourself to send just anything else that you want to, anywhere else that you feel called. Use your free will, your conscious choice right now. And just see, feel, sense, intend, and imagine whatever works for you to send all of the areas that need healing on our planet, all of the beings, humans, four-leggeds, winged, finned, oceans. Send as much love and light and healing energy as you feel called. And just for a few more moments, just see the earth right now just glowing with this gorgeous rose gold crystalline light. Her grid is just lighting up. Just allow this all to be activated in the way of the highest good. And I ask and again thank my team SOS for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the archangels, the ascended masters, and my beautiful wind horse herd. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see them galloping now, surrounding the earth, galloping round and round and round, bringing this beautiful vortex. And if your hands are tired, you can, put them down whenever you feel called. But I just see them coming in. I usually connect with them on the full moon, and they're just galloping around, bringing this beautiful crystalline vortex that is just unraveling, dismantling, uncreating, and dissolving all that no longer serves. And I ask that this all happens and is integrated and assimilated for every single soul, being, planet, plant, animal, and sentient being on this planet and through the universe. Allow this all to transpire with the most possible ease and grace. And as they come to a stop, and sort of the dust and the stardust begins to settle, I invite you to slowly, slowly, keeping your eyes closed for a few more moments, rub your hands together. If your feet are, depending on if you're able, you can rub your feet together and gently cover your eyes to receive the blessings. And slowly, slowly, as you let the light in through the cracks of your fingers, you can come back to the room. So I am going to just come back and turn my video back on again. And just want to remind you to drink plenty of water and be gentle to yourself. And, you know, I would love to hear if there's any comments or shares or anything. I don't know if you want to, I feel like I want to connect with you. I'm going to unmute you, Susan. Oops. Okay, there we go.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm all blissed out, so
Oh.
it's kind of hard to get the tongue moving after that when you're so blissed out, especially when you like needed it so bad and just go so deep. Hi, buddy. He liked it. Didrik was liking it because he was way across the field, and then when I was like deep in there, I was sitting there meditating and I was like, oh, what's that? And he's like right up trying to figure out what was going on with my energy. You know, it always attracts them to you if you meditate outside. I'm sure you do with them.
Yeah,
yeah, that was nice, my love. That was beautiful. Thank you very much. I needed that. I've been pretty rattled the last few days as well, and this morning was a culmination of it, and so I really needed it. I feel like $1 million. Well, at least 60. I feel like at least $60, and that's better than no.
Hey, let's go put a few more zeros on there.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
Thank you for being here and sharing your beautiful energy with your horses here. That was such a treat to have them here too.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime.
Thank you. All right. Well, we'll be in touch soon. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, babe.
Okay. Well, so I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. I just want to make sure there's not any comments. All right, so I'm going to just say thank you for those of you who are, you know, if you tune in later and listen to this replay, please feel free to leave comments. If you want to message me, feel free to email me. I'll leave the information below. And you know, as always, I always like to say that if you resonate with my energy, if you like what I'm up to, and I don't know if you've caught any of my previous, messages, but right now I have a very special offering to support those of my beautiful conscious horse mamas, horse parents, who would like to partner with their horses for deep healing and transformation. And, if you also happen to have something going on with your horse, that also may be an opportunity for us to do some work together in a really conscious and powerful way that, for me, my intention is always to empower this deep healing and transformation for you both. And so if any of that resonates, if you would like to learn more, just feel free to reach out, email me. I'll also leave links below to set up a free time to chat with me. And until next time, I am going to let you go. This next few days, just remember these energies are really powerful. And if you want to take what we did today, and really ground it, I highly recommend journaling around anything that came through, and with full moons and with the fire with Sagittarius, I really love to also write out all the things that I want to eclipse and release and then go burn it. So that's an extra, tip or process that you can do if you really want to, bring it to another layer or give it another depth. But either way, I hope that you found value and enjoyed this event. And if something comes up later on and you've had this aha or insight, please feel free to share again or reach out to me or leave a comment below. Okay, I think that's about it. I love you. Have the most beautiful Sagittarius full moon weekend, lunar eclipse. Be gentle with yourself and hug your horse. And we'll talk to you next time. Namaste. Much love. Bye-bye.